Thanks for joining us on a Saturday evening. My name is Dr. Aaron Taylor. I am Associate Professor and Acting Chair of the Department of New Media at the University of Lethbridge. Good to see ya. Hopefully you'll drop by our table, which is Y10 in halls A to E, to say hello to our recruiter, Nicole Hembroff, who will tell you all sorts of amazing things about the Faculty of Fine Arts at the university, as well as the Department of New Media and what we have to offer. But aside from that, I'm here to talk about a lady that we all know and love, Ms. Eliza Dushku. Ms. Dushku has been involved in, making films and television and voice work and video games since 1992. We know her from her breakout roles in films like This Boy's Life, as well as that fantastic film with Arnold, right? Of course, she got her fantastic fan base, which is to say all of you lovely people here, in her recurring roles as Ms. Faith Lahane from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, as well as phenomenal television work in her series Tru Calling, as well as another Joss Whedon spectacular, Dollhouse. Oh yeah. Ms. Dushku's recently done some fabulous voice work, including Batman Year One, Catwoman, starring as the voice of She-Hulk in the upcoming Hulk and the Agents of Smash, as well as a bevy of other productions that Ms. Dushku is happy to tell you all about. So please, let's give us a warm Calgary welcome to Ms. Eliza Dushku. Thanks so much for coming to Cowtown.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Associate professor, huh?
Associate
Fancy.
Sort of newly minted. It's kind of exciting.
Nice.
So, right.
Wow. I feel like I'm with my mom now.
Oh, great. I wish it came with a bucket of cash, but alas, government cutbacks and stuff.
Hi, over there. What's up?
So,
this is such an interesting setup. You guys are like in all different. Okay.
Feels like we're going to be like body checked by a hockey team any second now. It's like,
oh, yeah. Wow. When I got in last night, I watched more fights on the sports, hockey fights. Yeah, that's the thing, huh?
It's a proud Canadian heritage,
Gloves just come off and they just start pounding faces, like bam.
Well, me as a buck 40, it would just be embarrassing for both me and them. So,
wow.
not much of that in my experience.
Well, hopefully I'll be ready if anybody tries to come up and lay one on me.
Okay, so we want to start out. There's actually there's a kind of an Albertan connection here that maybe not a lot of you know about, and I'm speaking here of your. I just came across this the other night. Actually, is your work in a video by proud Albertan boys, Nickelback, in their video for Rockstar. Are many people aware of that, right?
Yeah.
So there's some mime action happening in that video, along with Wayne Gretzky. So.
Yeah.
How often does a former vampire slayer and a hockey icon get together in the same place and time? It just blew my mind. I'm still recovering. So I had a couple of questions that I wanted to start off with before we turn things over to our wild and unruly audience. And the first question I had was about a pop cultural icon, a very strong, independent woman, a cheerleader hanging from California. Of course, I'm talking about...
Who transferred from Los Angeles?
Yep.
Because her school had no gymnastics.
Yeah, and I'm not talking about Buffy. I'm talking about Bring It On, actually. Oh, yeah. Now, and this is kind of a counterintuitive, question to start off with, given, that it's not usually maybe the fan base, but I heard a lot of cheering, and I watched Bring It On again the other night.
I think there are a few Bring It On fans in the house,
absolutely.
Right?
That's good. Good. Because it's an amazing film, and I don't know why that's a surprise in my voice, but it's kind
We were all surprised. We had that was one of the great things about it, was that when we were shooting it, the studio didn't really think that it had a chance. Everyone thought it was going to be a straight to DVD. It wasn't really a big, they weren't making a lot of movies like that at the time, and then it was extra special and exciting when it really popped.
Absolutely. Roger Ebert called it the Citizen Kane of cheerleader movies. Which is,
did?
He did, actually,
Yes,
which is
I love that.
Which is an amazing compliment, I think, right?
Nice.
I want to be
going
in the
on my
Citizen,
Twitter tonight.
Absolutely. I want to be in the Citizen Kane of cheerleader movies, right? So I'm put on my bucket
Wait,
list.
did you make that up?
No, it's
Okay.
true. I swear to God.
Okay.
It's all right. Yeah, it's totally true. But another thing that's kind of amazing about the film, and another great Canadian critic, Robin Wood, who's a really kind of brilliant guy, had a kind of some interesting things to say about kind of the film's political ideas. He had this really great article about teen comedies in the '90s, and said that Bring It On was extraordinary for correcting a lot of the sexism and racism and homophobia that's kind of associated with a lot of teen comedies. So I wondered if that was something that drew you to the project, and what you felt you brought to that role and that ethos of the film.
Sure, yeah. I mean, I agree with you, or I agree with them, whoever was saying that. The writer, Jessica Bendinger, had a really smart, quick script, and the director, Peyton Reed, had a really great vision for it. And I think, it was kind of a time of teen movies, and this one just had a fun little wink in it, and it had a message that I loved all the stuff about the gay cheerleaders or not, and just because I get more, well, whatever his line was, and it was really cool to see that people caught on to it, and that they in turn embraced it the way they did, because it was, like I said, sort of a risk, because there was a lot of innuendo and not innuendo, pretty direct and blatant message in the film and the way it was shot, and it was awesome that people caught on.
Absolutely. It's so
liked
template
it.
setting. I mean, you look like Glee would be impossible without it, I think, this film. So it's really...
And it was all like little sweet young girls that would come up to me, and gay men in supermarkets, and they would be like, "We love Bring It On!" And they would start doing the cheers.
Awesome.
I love that.
Oh, that's cool. Well, again, I thank Robin Wood for bringing this up. And actually, I bring up Robin Wood deliberately because there's kind of a connection with you and Robin Wood, because, of course, you're married to Robin Wood.
Come again?
Well, Robin Wood is the guy that you hook up with at the end of Buffy, isn't it? So yeah, so Robin is that character on Buffy, and he's actually named after the critic Robin Wood, because Joss, being such a brilliant guy, named this character after him.
I learn more about my roles
really
and my shows at these conventions than I ever knew.
Yeah,
Maybe I mean, I'm not that bright, so it doesn't surprise me. But
he wrote this amazing essay about the American horror film, which was really kind of inspirational. And actually, it kind of has a role to play in Scream and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's kind of a Joss's.
This guy's on it, professor.
Of course I am.
That's why he gets that title.
Send me buckets of cash. call my dean. So another question, speaking of about kind of strong, female characters. I'm kind of interested in this, and we talk about a lot about these kinds of figures in my pop narrative classes, and I got all these kind of great essays by both guys and gals who are kind of really preoccupied with the kind of the obsession with the kind of the strong female character and the evolution of that kind of type in the last decade, which you play kind of a seminal part in setting a template for, because of your badass roles over the years. And I came across a really kind of interesting quote from a really great feminist critic that I like, who writes for Slate, called her name is Alyssa Rosenberg, and she says, I'm all down with strong female characters, and I'm all down with physical and emotional resilience, but what about, expanding our definition of strong female character? What about, thinking about strong in terms of whether the execution of the character is precise and unique? So thinking of strong in that way. So I guess 10 years after, after Buffy and a few years after Dollhouse, what does that kind of phrase or that type, strong female character?
Strong female character.
Yeah, I mean for you.
Yeah, I mean, as some of you know, grew up with a pretty feminist mom, and I have been known to now play all these strong female characters, and I feel like that in some ways, I mean, I love that, but in some ways in our culture and society, that's become a little bit narrow-minded, and to me, every sort of pilot season, I'll say it, I get a lot of scripts that are like, oh, we're gonna send you this one, and it's this really strong female character, and you just start reading all these women, and as you said, maybe they're physically strong and they can lift a bus, or they're like really serious all the time, but I think that absolutely it is nice to see when there's more complexity and more texture and colors to the character, and that's part of the reason why I've loved working with Joss Whedon so much, is that he does that, and he doesn't have to sort of overcompensate for not knowing how to write a smart, strong woman powerfully, with a bunch of other sort of cliche stuff.
Right on. Okay. Well, I want to. This is a nice segue into some recent projects that you've been doing, and being such an extraordinary athlete. I mean, I heard that you are a pretty amazing marathon runner, and
I did like 2 triathlons just because I'd never done one, and
okay.
I did pretty good.
Okay, and so it's interesting to think about your kind of the recent project that you've been doing, sort of moving out of roles which are all about kind of capitalizing on your physical prowess and moving more into voice work. So do you want to talk a little bit about some of the projects that you've been involved in recently with some of the animated work that you've been doing, like the Torchwood series, as a Whovian that makes me salivate. The upcoming work with in She-Hulk, your role as Catwoman. What would you like to tell us about?
Yeah, I've been pretty psyched to get the chance to do some more voiceover work. I started in video games, I guess, and then in the last couple years, well, yeah, as you mentioned, we just wrapped on our first season of Hulk and the Agents of Smash, where I'm voicing Shulky, She-Hulk, and it's an amazing cast, and I love all the guys that I get to be in a room with. Seth Green is involved, and it's just a different, it's enough of a similar vibe that I don't feel like I'm completely over my head, but I can also show up in, like sweatpants, and you get to be in this really creative small room, and all the other actors are in there with you, except for Seth. Seth's like never there, that little bugger. I think he does so much voiceover that he has his own little recording booth at his house. So he just literally rolls out of bed in his pajamas and goes in the kitchen and does it. But all the other guys, I just have learned a lot. I mean, it's very expressive, and it's fast-paced. And then now to see some of the episodes, just last week I saw some of the final episodes they pulled together, and I just so wanted a bowl of cereal and like a Saturday morning and just to watch 10 of them in a row, and they're awesome, and they're really funny, they're really well done, and I think you guys will dig them. And yeah, and then I shot you said something about physicalness.
Well, it's just
physicality. I just shot a pilot for a
Saint.
remake of the show The Saint.
Yeah.
And yeah, do you guys know The Saint from the 60s, the Roger Moore show? It's kind of a cool, sexy little show, but it's going to be even cooler and sexier because we did it like that. And Roger Moore himself is involved. He's about 1,000 years old, but he's still rocking. And he's really great. And we should know more in the next couple weeks. So stay tuned to what the next developments on The Saint are going to be. But the intention is to shoot internationally.
Oh, cool.
And, in London and Singapore and all over the place. Maybe Calgary, right?
Right on.
Can we get some good tax breaks, people? Right to your, senators.
Absolutely.
But that's been the latest.
I'm sure it will be cooler and sexier than Val Kilmer as well, too.
But we're not doing it like the Val
Good.
Kilmer movie. That one, I haven't seen the Val Kilmer movie, so I'm not even going to sit and hate on it.
Okay.
But some people are like, are you going to do it like the original show in the books or the movie? Like, the books and the show.
Awesome. All right, switching gears a little bit, I mean, one thing that you're also really well known for is your activist work, particularly work that you're doing in northern Uganda. So do you want to tell the folks here about some of the exciting stuff that you're working on there? Yeah,
I mean, if you guys have been following me on Twitter or Facebook, I've put it right in your face a number of times. It is something that I love, and it's part of why I love what I do so much, is that I get to get people's attention and then trick them really fast and put attention on things that I think are really awesome. And one of those is Thrive Gulu, my mother's nonprofit, and and it was originally called Tharch Gulu. Some of you may have been surprised to see the name change, but it was a weird and funny name and nobody knew how to say it, or they felt uncomfortable saying Tharch, and so now it's Thrive Gulu. And if you guys have donated, thank you very much. It's literally, there have been the most amazing things going on. We were able to purchase a huge plot of land and build a center for rehabilitation and trauma healing for former child soldiers and victims of the Ugandan war, and Joseph Kony and his rebel group. So we are planning some upcoming trips. We have a new website and some really cool stuff happening that you're all gonna see on my website and, you know, be wowed by, and continue to be involved and help me, you know, change the world, right? That's what we're here for. We like that. 'Cause that's badass, right? Yeah.
Fantastic. I think we probably have some people itching to ask some questions.
Who's itching?
Having a look out here.
Nice people here in Calgary, I have to say.
Let's get a question from Tom
Nice,
Baker
pretty
in
people.
the scarf there. Are you ready there, Tom?
Why
You
does
are
everybody know who I am?
scarfed
Well, first of all, just what Aaron Taylor was saying there, absolutely true. Please give them buckets of money, because education and the arts are under financial attack here in
Hear, hear.
Alberta. But that preaching aside, question for you about Dollhouse. You played more characters in that show than I have colors in my scarf right now. And I know as an actor that you want to prepare as much as possible for every single role. That takes a lot of time, a lot of work. You have to do like 6, 7 different ones, all of them multifaceted in one episode. So how do you do the triage in that? And I mean, I think I know the answer to this question, but is it intimidating?
Well, you know, I asked for it full on. When I had lunch with Joss and we came up with the show, I had made the mistake of, you know, just telling Joss that I didn't want to do the same thing every week or wear the same thing, and he's kind of like an ironic and, you know, little fucker guy. So he was like, oh really? I'm gonna give you something. So I asked for it, hands down. And it was challenging, as you mentioned, because you do want to have as much time as possible to sort of incarnate these characters, and we didn't have a lot of time when we were shooting the show at such a crazy pace. But I did the best I could. I had a couple of different coaches that I worked with, 2 in particular, and that was helpful. We had an awesome script supervisor who was really helpful and reminded me who the hell I was whenever I had to be someone else. And a really awesome group of, it was just, you know, the team. The rest of the cast and the crew were spectacular. Joss was great. And when the writing's really good, it helps to, you know, keep you, you don't ever feel really threatened or unsure or as confused when the writing makes sense. So I, of course, attribute that guy Joss Whedon to that. So it was a challenge, but it was pretty awesome. And I love your scarves. You look like Will Wheaton.
Thank you, Tom. Okay, we have a
He's
question.
right in the spotlight.
We have a question way up in the bleachers up here.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
As a lot of people know, Rick Fox is here as well this weekend. Is that something that happens often, or is it nice to get away?
One more time? He's right over there.
Do you travel with Rick Fox often to these conventions, or
I
is
do.
it nice to just do it once in a while?
We do it a lot. We do. A lot. I enjoy it. Hi, baby. Is that it?
Yes, thank you.
Great.
Hi.
Hi. Speaking of complex Joss Whedon written characters, I'm sure most of us will agree that Faith is definitely one of the best due to all of her layers. What I wanted to know, though, is in season 4 you did This Year's Girl and Who Are You, and part of that was portraying Buffy herself. So what was your approach in coming to a character that Sarah Michelle Gellar had spent 3.5 seasons perfecting already?
Well, it was fun. I watched a few episodes. I think I think Sarah actually, because she was really excited about it as well, and I think she chose a few episodes that she thought that I should watch to really get her, so I did. And I've always been kind of a good mimic, and it was just particularly exciting to get on set and have Tony Head and all the crew members like completely, you know, bug out that it was, I was doing something right in their mind. And then Sarah, of course, yeah, got to go and like be naughty and sleep with her boyfriend, and you know, and everyone always said she made me sound Canadian, and because apparently I'm Bostonian and I say about the way it sounds very Canadian. I don't know. She focused in on that, and I think she said about like a number of times in the episode. It was cool though. It was definitely, there was that trickster Joss again. He was shaking it up. It was fun.
All right, I think we got another question over in the middle row.
Hi, Eliza.
Giles, yeah, I remember that. That like kind of out of the side of my head. Hi.
Hi. My question is, out of all the roles you've played, in the end, is it more fun to play the good girl or the bad girl?
Well, you know, it's, I mean, it is fun to play the bad girl. It is fun to get to torture someone with Pam cooking spray and a lighter for like 7 hours and have him just scream. I don't know why I enjoy that, but I do. I did. And it was fun to get to, you know, do the scenes where you're like dancing in the nightclub and all of a sudden you're beating everybody up. And you just, to play the bad girl and not have to face all the repercussions, you know, like jail that you would as a human, normal person, is very fun. But I mean, sometimes the grass is always greener, and you're playing a bad girl, and you're looking at the good girl, and you're like, oh, she's so cute and good, and then you're playing the good girl, and you're like, this sucks. Let's go back and be the bad girl. Did I answer your question? Cool. Would you want to play a good girl or a bad girl?
Too much of a good girl. I want to play a bad girl.
Okay. We'll talk about it. Find me. Give you some tips.
Okay. It's got a set of horns in the back row there.
Hi, Horns.
Hello. Okay, so out of all the things that happened in like your career, what do you think is the weirdest thing that happened?
The weirdest thing in my entire career?
Yeah, pretty much.
She's been 22 years. My God, yeah, that's right. Tell your friends. It was 1990, by the way. You called it 1992.
I got some.
Yeah.
IMDb's got some bad information.
The weirdest. I don't know, man. I mean, I find weird stuff pretty cool. So things that are weird to me might not be weird to other people. But I thought it was maybe not weird, but yeah, weird and cool that a couple people like proposed to their partners, their future wives at conventions in the last 6 months. I went to a convention and I had 2 proposals. Like one was during a Q&A like this. No pressure on you guys. Sitting right next to your girlfriends. And then another was at a photo op, and dude just like, I had one on my right and one on my left, and it was like a 3, 2, 1, and the dude just like hit his knee, and the security almost grabbed him by the throat, because they were like, fast movements! But he dropped right there, and they snapped like right, it literally looked like a stage shot where the girl's face was like, oh, and he was like, oh, and I was like, ah, that was so cute. Not probably how I'd do it, but whatever floats your boat, right? So, weird and cool. Does that work?
Yeah, that's very funny.
Nice. How'd you like that? Horny.
Sassy girl. Okay. Gentleman over here.
Hey there, hi.
Hey there.
Hi. I'm not going to propose or anything.
No, it wasn't to me. It
Well, I
was-
did-
Oh, gotcha.
I was just wondering, you starred in Bring It On and Wrong Turn, which both sort of spawn these sort of direct-to-DVD series. Do you ever follow those movies?
Oh, I'm an honest person. No, I've never seen the the follow-ups, but I've heard some of them people dig. Yeah. I'm bad. I see very few movies. They have to be really like shoved in my face, or, you know, because I am a little ADHD, so focusing or on sitting down and watching movies is hard for me. I heard the one with Hayden Panettiere was good, the Bring It On. Yeah? You guys like that one? Yeah? No? Maybe? It's cool, though, that they got to live on.
Gentleman in the red in the middle.
Hi, Eliza. I have to say, you're probably my favorite Slayer from Buffy.
Aw, you say that to all the Slayers.
Aw. Anyway, my question is that I love the things that Faith says, and one of the things I have a question about is that why does Faith say, when she's asked how she is, like, why did she say 5 by 5, and what does that mean to you?
You should probably go around and ask multiple different people that question, because every time I say what 5 by 5 meant, someone in the crowd will be like, actually it means da 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 da. So, fuck it. I'm not even going there. I'm not gonna start any fights. 5 by 5 means exactly to you what you want it to mean, okay? We're all 5 by 5. It's good. It means good thing. It's cool. We're straight. We're good. That's your answer, bro. Sorry.
It's like you hit him with a 4 by 4.
He was like, no, seriously, I'm waiting here. I'm like, nope, bye.
Hey, way in the back row again.
Hey, I wanted to ask kind of an old school question.
I'm like, oh, the horny section.
What was it
back over
like
there.
being as young as you were in True Lies and working with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis?
So cool. Actually, we just shot the 20-year True Lies DVD Blu-ray, and it's the same, yeah, someone's excited about that. And I did a bunch of interviews, and it's being done by the same people that did the Avatar sort of documentary behind the scenes. And at this convention, actually, there's a gentleman named Peter Kent, who was Arnold's double, and he doubled him in the most amazing ways on the film, and he's sort of like right behind my table that way. So he's doubled Arnold for 15 years, did all like the cool horse stuff, and so we were just sort of reminiscing. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. Again, that's how old I am. It was awesome to be, I was 12 when I did that movie, and it was like a 9-month shoot, and it was the biggest budget movie of the time, and I remember Jim Cameron gave me a blue beeper, like remember pagers when they were just the coolest thing? I had a beeper from Jim Cameron, and it was awesome. And then I got to hang off rooftops and Harrier jets, and you know, it was pretty awesome early training. Thanks.
Okay, back to our middle row.
Hi.
Hi.
For the record, I always thought 5 by 5 was 5 senses. All 5 senses.
Totally,
you can tell me if
girl.
I'm wrong.
Totally. Take
Yeah,
it. Run
for
with
sure,
it.
right?
Run.
And with that, I was very young when I started watching Buffy. 6th grade, we used to be Buffy and Faith. We used to play, me and my friends. You guys were our heroes.
You guys would play that? What would your parents say?
There was a
Or the
bloody
police.
nose once, and we, you know,
Okay.
got in a little trouble. But I'm just curious, with all these roles you played, you've been our heroes. Who is your hero? You talked a lot about your mom, but did you have any figures in entertainment or pop culture?
Yeah, I'd say Mama Judy is pretty high up there. I just adore her and everything she represents, and I don't know. Now I'm on the spot, and I'd have to really go back and think of who some of my other heroines are. There are a few, but let me think about it before I speak too soon. Follow me on Twitter. I'll get you, girl. Sweet. I'll tweet it.
Yeah, tweet
right
it for
at
me.
your
I follow
face. Yep. I'm a little zenned out tonight because on the break that I just had, I got this amazing head massage, like by @PlayfulDancer on Twitter. She's here in the building. If anyone hits her up, get a head massage. It's
See, I requested that
Pretty
in my
sweet.
contract, but they were like, no, we don't get the budget.
Oh, gotcha. Well, not
Right,
you.
yeah.
Then you. No, none for you. At Playful Dancer. That's right.
Sweet. Hi, over here.
Hi.
Hi.
So, as was previously mentioned, you play a lot of characters on Dollhouse, and I was just wondering which of the imprints was the most fun to play and which was the most difficult?
One of the most fun. I loved when I was bouncing around. I loved a lot of the stuff with Alan Tudyk, who is awesome as Alpha. And yeah, he's good. He's a friend of Nathan's. And then I was challenged by Margaret in the episode that I spent most of the episode with Olivia Wilde, and I was supposed to sort of be her peer, and that was so freaking intimidating. And Joss made me put my hair up, and I apparently, according to him, a lot of my something is caught up in my hair, my comfort level. It's true, and I'm on camera with my hair up. It's just the back of my neck is exposed, and it's just
I don't
creepy.
have that problem.
But so he was like, I'm gonna make you put your hair up as much as possible and take you out of your comfort zone. I was like, of course you are. So he did that whole episode where I had to do a lot, and I was pretty petrified the whole episode. But I think it was haunted. Is that right? Anybody? Anybody seen Dollhouse in here? Haunted? Call out. Nobody's looking. Okay, cool. Yeah, I liked that. Yeah. Want
Okay.
more? I said, no, she's like, and I liked the Target episode. That was fun, very physical. We shot out in Los Angeles National Park. Now she's like, I'm not interested, walking away.
Just don't want to be target practice
Gotcha,
for the bow and
gotcha.
arrow later, man. So
There you go. We'll talk later too.
I see a waving lightsaber in that direction that's beckoning my attention over to that way. So
Follow the lightsaber.
How are you today?
I'm well, thank you.
Cool.
Which one's talking? Oh, I thought it was the lightsaber guy.
Unfortunately,
okay.
no.
Hi.
no, he's directing traffic up there.
Zing. My question has to do with working with Kevin Smith on the set of Jay and Silent Bob. What was the atmosphere like on a day-to-day basis working with that man and Jason Mewes?
That guy, huh? I love Smithers. He's like a bro today, and Jason as well. And have you guys seen stuff about the new super groovy cartoon movie? Anyone? Yeah, we just did a cool little cartoon movie where I play the super groovy villain lipstick lesbian. And yeah, and they are self-distributing it, similar to the way that Kevin, the game changer that he is, did with Red State. And so they're driving around and premiering it in different cities, and hopefully they'll come to this city and you guys will all go and see it. Yeah. He's just smart and nuts and, raucous and naughty, and it's kind of fun. We got along immediately after we met and hung out and decided to do the movie together.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, I think we have time for.
And I adore his wife. His wife, Jen, is dope. She was one of my Diamond Thief sisters. You guys remember that?
You're a diamond thief?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
International Diamond Thief.
Ah, okay. Good thing I left my jewelry at home. We got time, I think, for one more question in the middle row.
Hey, with the mask. Oh.
Let's do. We got time
Okay,
for. We
yeah.
got time for two. So the scary-looking guy doesn't.
Namaste to you too, crazy mask guy.
There we go. Yes, we will take two questions.
Hi, Eliza.
Hi.
Hi. So in the latter half of season 3 of Buffy, you and Sarah had to kick the crap out of each other on a fairly regular basis. Did those scenes take a long time to film? And did you ever get to the point where you saw it on the script and you went like, oh, Jesus, I have to do this again?
They would sometimes take a long time to film. I mean, I remember we first, we would trade smacks and punches and whatever, and sometimes they were accidental, and then people loved that. So then we started getting scripts where there were like 5-page Buffy Faith fight scenes, and we were like, oh, really? And now we handcuff ourselves to each other and beat each other up for 3 more pages? But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and not without little injuries here and there. but I think she enjoyed it as much as I did, because I enjoyed it. Now, mask guy.
Okay, this will be very quick. As he
Oh
took
no,
my-
this is awkward because I can't understand you. Oh, but I don't want to ruin your costume.
He's still just
Since
as scary.
the
Maybe
guy
this was a
stole
bad
my
idea.
Oh, oops. Since he stole my question about Kevin Smith, I figured I would be one of those awkward moments and see if he'll give me a fake marriage on stage.
Oh boy, this was definitely a bad idea.
Oh, I know.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm already married.
Yeah, well, I
didn't mean
have
you.
Rick Fox back here, as you now know. I don't know how you'd feel about that.
No, it's all good. Have a good night.
Thank you guys. You guys have been awesome. And I'm going back to the table because I'd love to see some more of you guys, and then I'll be here tomorrow. So come get personal and let me look in your eyes and suck out your soul. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the rest of the expo. Thank you, Calgary.